Alright everyone, Cowboy Trades here. Welcome back to the channel for another update on GALAGames. So GALA is currently flirting with death as we are sitting at the last line of support before a potential cascade to the downside. Let's talk about what's happening in the charts. So if we look at the weekly time frame to start off with, we've been talking about this technical analysis pattern playing out for the past few weeks or so. We do have a massive M pattern structure with a price target all the way down here at new bear market lows, 1.5 cent for GALAGames. We quite recently also highlighted that we did come down and fill this imbalance where there was previous liquidity, and since we have come down and filled this liquidity gap, we've pretty much just been ranging sideways and making this bearish pattern as we retest the neckline of the M pattern. Now, this one does look a little bit ugly. You can draw it a few different ways, potentially drawing it so we're still in this pattern, potentially drawing it so we're still out of it. I kind of just wanted to highlight this. This wasn't the main focus of my TA today, but it does look like we are forming a potential bear flag at this moment in time. The absolute floor of this is really going to be around about 3 cents. So if you do witness GALAGames start to fall beneath 3 cent, we could rocket all the way down to as low as 1.65 cent, coming right back down to the previous bear market lows. I'll keep you up to date on this. This isn't the main thing I'm looking at. I'm mainly looking at this massive M pattern right now. As you can see, on the daily time frame, we've got touch points here, we've got touch points here. So the neckline of this M pattern, and also on the daily time frame, you can draw up to the candle body closes right up here. So, the exact neckline of this is a little bit ambiguous. I wouldn't draw a regular trend line. I've got this big rectangular box, especially as it is a large pattern, to show you what the neckline is right now. If we clear up a few different things just to make it a little bit clearer to see, get rid of this bear flag, you can see, we've basically formed this, and we've broken beneath it, and we are retesting it as resistance right now. We came up to the top, got rejected, we're now moving down, and we are forming a bear flag at this moment in time. So GALAGames, along with the rest of the altcoin market, is looking pretty weak. Right now, the altcoin market has obviously, in the past few months also, broken out of this massive descending resistance, and instead of breaking out, having a successful backtest and then breaking higher, which is indicative of a successful retest, what we've been doing is we've broken out, we retested it, and then we broke down again, retested it from a lower position, retested from a lower position, retested from a lower position. We keep on touching this trend line. And as you know, in support and resistance theory, the more you touch a trend line, the weaker it gets. So if you're in an uptrend, you touch resistance, you touch it again, you're very likely to flip it as support. The same as if you've broken down and you found support. If you break down, find support, you retest it again and again and again and again, you're very likely to flip it as resistance. This is what we're seeing right now. We have not had a successful breakout of the altcoin market. The altcoin market is looking very hesitant right now. And in the past few days or so, we have been trading beneath the bull market support bands, while Bitcoin is solidifying this major rejection from this previous 28K support, flipped it as resistance. So all in all, the crypto markets right now are looking a little bit weak, and GALA is looking extremely weak while it is flirting with death at the neckline of this M pattern. If you see GALAGames break beneath precisely 3.018 cent, but let's just round it down, let's just say 3 cent. Keep our eyes on 3 cent. If GALA starts trading beneath 3 cent and closing daily candle body closes, it's going to be ugly. We did break beneath 3 cent once, but what we did over here is we made an M pattern, we broke down, and then while we were beneath 3 cent, we pumped back up to retest the neckline as resistance. If we break back down beneath 3 cent again, with volume confirming the breakdown, this is going to be a picture perfect retest with volume confirmation of a breakdown on this M pattern, especially if you start closing dailies literally at / below 3 cent. You're also going to be confirming this bear flag. So all in all, a lot going on. Keep your eyes on 3 cent. If we close beneath it, we're probably likely to come back down to these bear market lows and make new lows at 1.45 cent. This is also a bar pattern with a spiky top, and it's very likely if we fall down from here that we have an explosive move down extremely quickly. What also lends credence to the fact that if this is a bar pattern, we could absolutely explode and come down to new lows within maybe a week. I'm not talking about us slowly chopping sideways for weeks at a time. I'm talking about if we start closing daily candle bodies at 3 cent slash just below 3 cent, we could see a drop down to new lows in a week or so. Well, let's come over to another chart on the weekly and look at the volume profiles. Right now, you can see we've been trading in this huge area of liquidity. Now, where there's areas of liquidity, you can see we spend weeks trading, absolutely ages trading in here. Most of the time we spend trading in these ranges where there's lots of liquidity. What happens when you fall into an area underneath, like here, where there's not much volume traded? So in areas where there's not much volume traded, I will highlight these with red boxes to highlight their illiquid nature. Now, you can actually see right here, no liquidity, right here, no liquidity, and between these there are small clusters of liquidity. You can see when there's no liquidity, it only takes small amounts of volume to have knee-jerk reactions in the price action. You come down to an area of liquidity, you spend a decent time trading within these range. You come down to an area where there's no liquidity, knee-jerk reactions back down to the downside. There's a pocket of liquidity here, and you spend a little bit of time retesting this, but really this is the major area of liquidity which we've been spending a decent time trading in. If we fall into this red box where there's not much liquidity, you are going to witness very quick knee-jerk reaction moves back down to the downside for GALAGames. So the title, is a play on words, but it's not clickbait. If we do fall beneath 3 cent, right now we're literally flirting with death. If we fall beneath 3 cent, we're going to absolutely rocket down to some pretty bearish price targets. Now, to give GALAGames a chance, there is technically one last line in the sand. If we do draw our Fibonacci from the swing low up to the swing high, we do have a 786 Fibonacci right here at 2.5 cent, which is marked by this orange line. If we lose this, then, obviously it's going to look like this. We're going to be confirming the bear flag breakdown, the M pattern breakdown. We're going to be falling into an area where there's no liquidity. And then if we don't hold 2.5 cent, expect new lows to come for GALAGames very, very soon. One interesting thing I do want to point out on the oscillator front, let's quickly get the MACD out the way. Now, the MACD for GALAGames has never seen a bearish cross on the weekly time frame. When this finally spawned in, it was already bearish, but it didn't have a bearish cross. We've only seen a bullish cross on the GALAGames MACD. Now, right now, if we zoom into the MACD on the weekly time frame, it looks like we're about a week or two away from having a bearish MACD flip. If we look at the histograms, they're basically at 0 right now, ready to capitulate into the negative. So just wanted to get the MACD out of the way. On the weekly time frame, it's looking pretty ugly right now. I also want to highlight some interesting fractal with the stochastic RSI. Now, obviously, the stochastic RSI is made up of 2 moving averages, a short-term moving average and a long-term moving average. What I'm going to be doing for this example is just getting a vertical ray and placing it halfway between these 2 moving averages. So we're basically taking the summation of both of these moving averages and dividing them by 2 to get the average of the 2 moving averages. Because as you can imagine, when the markets are moving very, very slowly to the downside, these moving averages basically copy each other because they're at the same valuation. However, sometimes when you have knee-jerk reactions up or knee-jerk reactions back down, the short-term moving average can diverge very quickly and move a lot faster away from the long-term moving average. So just in general, to smooth things out, take the average of these 2 moving averages. As you can see right now, the stochastic RSI is around about 20, and as we know, in general, this trends between 0 and 100 for pretty much all cryptocurrencies. So with this being said, right now the stochastic RSI on average is around about 20. If we look at previous times where we've been in a breakdown and the average of these 2 moving averages was at 20, you can see over here we still had room to move down. Over on this chart, we proceeded to drop down 80%. Over on this data point, you can see we had a 47% drop to the downside. Do bear in mind, over on this Poloniex chart, it said we actually broke down to about 1 cent. This was really just a quick liquidity grab, which happened within like an hour or so. And on the rest of the exchanges, this didn't happen. So this isn't actually the bear market lows for GALA. We never came down to that level. So we actually broke down 47%. Now, after then, you can see we had another flip over here where we proceeded to break down about 49%. So from where we are at this moment in time, it's very easy to say, the average of these is obviously higher than 50%, but let's be very conservative and say, in 2 of these data points, it broke down 47.5 and 49%, basically 50%. So what happens if we do that again? What happens if we have another 50% drop? Well, will be right back down at the previous bear market lows for GALAGames. And to wrap up, before we talk about the macro price targets, just want to quickly highlight that GALA BTC is literally almost at the cusp of making new bear market lows. This is a leading indicator for GALA USD. As you can see, GALA USD had this parabolic run up and it's slowly chopping down. GALA BTC had this parabolic run up and it's been bleeding out against Bitcoin ever since. So GALA against Bitcoin is not holding up well at all. It's right back down at its previous bear market lows. And because of this, my friends, it's looking like GALA USD is going to follow soon and it is going to break down into new bear market lows. My price target from my previous video hasn't changed. We have the psychological level, 1 cent, which is backed up by this 1.618 Fibonacci, literally exactly on 1.062 cents. So basically exactly 1 cent. We've got listing prices on major exchanges such as KuCoin round about 0.095 cent. So basically almost 1 cent once again. With that being said, I think there's a lot of reasons why GALAGames is likely to drop down about another 66% down to this psychological level at 1 cent. This would of course also complete the Elliott wave theory we've been looking at on this channel for quite some time, where we do have a macro WXY double free structure. This constitutes of 3 ABC patterns, but 2 zigzag ABCs, where you've got your typical A, B, C. This any free ABC can just be any ABC pattern in any direction. And then of course you finish off with another zigzag, you come down for your final A, B, and the final C wave should take us down into new bear market lows if this pattern does continue to come into fruition. So for today, my friends, that's all I've got. GALAGames, in my opinion, is coming right down to 1 cent. Right now, we are flirting with death at this 3 cent level. We really don't have much in terms of support to the downside with this. And if we do start closing daily candle bodies beneath 3 cent, we're going to be falling into an area where there's no liquidity. We're going to be confirming this bear flag breakdown. We're going to be confirming this M pattern breakdown. All in all, if you are a bull and you want to see a rally in GALAGames, seeing the price break beneath 3 cent is going to cripple a lot of those hopes of higher price targets. Keep your eyes on 3 cent. Bull or bear, if we close beneath it, it's not going to look good. For today, my friends, that's all I've got. If you do enjoy my content, as always, let me know down below by leaving a like and a comment. Share the videos with your friends. If you want to further support the channel, feel free to click the join button and become a member today. Follow me over on Twitter at 618_cowboy. It's been your boy Cowboy Trades. I'm out. Peace.